Hello, everyone. I have an echo here, so let me figure out what's going on. Probably have the mic up too high. Yeah, that sounds a little better. Let me turn it down a little bit more. Here we go. Mic must have been up way too high. So, how's everyone doing? I'm trying to get everything set up. I just got back a little bit ago from visiting my sister in the hospital. Well, she's in the back in the rehabilitation center. It's a different one, but she is in the rehabilitation center now instead of at the. It's a different one, but oops, there we go. Uh, yeah, she's at a different nursing home, but she was, to me, she looked great. Uh, she's doing so much better than the last two times I visited her. The last two times she happened to be in the hospital, and she was kind of out of it both times. This time she's alert. She knew I was there, who I was. Uh, she's eager to go home, which is understandable, but she's still going to be in there for a little while. But she is much, much, much better than what she's been. So I want to thank all of you for your prayers for my sister. I ask that you continue to do so, and hopefully she'll be well enough to go home soon. And so that's what we're hoping for. So we'll see. There's the way to come up. The connection is pinned now. I'm drinking root beer here. I hadn't had a root beer for a while, and I spent about 3.5 or a little over driving up to see my sister, and then another 3.5 or a little over driving back from the hospital. So long day driving, so I didn't feel like cooking. I stopped and bought myself a burrito, and that's what I had for supper. And I usually don't get anything to drink with it, but I did today. It seems to be when I go to see my sister, if I'm doing a 1 day trip up and back, it seems to be that I stop at Moe's because I don't want to cook. And even if I did, I don't cook myself. I don't cook burritos for myself. I'm not a very good cook for burritos. And so I don't know if Anna Mae's still here or and Abby G, but if you are, thank you for coming. I want to thank you for being here. I don't know how long we'll go tonight. It depends on how many people show up and what we have to talk about. I ordered my whiteboard. I think I've told you guys I want to get a whiteboard and list the stuff that I need to do or take care of or find out about. What I got to, before I go to the Philippines. Like, I'm going to get I'll need to see what shots I need to get. I'll get a rabies shot. I'll probably get a hepatitis shot and maybe a TB shot, although I've had both. I don't know how long they last, so I can find out how long those last. If they last a lifetime, then I won't get anything, but I'm having trouble with my one phone. It keeps wanting to drop down, but I have no clue what's going on here with this phone. And there's a lot of stuff there. Well, it's just not going to come up, so I'll just have to use the one. I was going to use my Larry account as well, give myself a little more viewing, but it doesn't want to come up. Hey, Jamie, thanks for coming, man. Like I was saying earlier, been a long day on the road today. I drove. My sister's in the nurse rehabilitation center. She fell when back in Indianapolis when we were going home for our mother's funeral. Now she flew and I drove, and but she fell and hurt her back and hit her head, and she was out of it for quite a while because she was born with a curvature of the spine, and then she gave herself a concussion. She spent a little over a week in the hospital in Terre Haute, our hometown, and then finally got back to New York, where she lives right out. She lives about halfway between Buffalo and Rochester, probably a little closer to Rochester. But she got back here to a nursing home, a rehabilitation center. She got sick. She had got a urinary tract infection and something else. Got that taken care of. Got back and had to go back to the hospital again because she had COVID and pneumonia. And so she finally got back where she's doing much, much better. She got to a different rehabilitation center because the one she was at no longer had any beds opening. So she got to a different one, which is actually it's farther for my brother-in-law and nephew to travel to see her, but it's a better location for her. There's a hospital right next door, so if anything happens, I mean, they're right there. The other one, she was probably 15, 20 minutes from a hospital. So it's a better location for her, and everything seems to be going really good. Yeah, she's been having a tough time. Yesterday happened to be her 82nd birthday. Good Friday was her 82nd birthday. And here she is, and you know, in a rehabilitation center trying to get better. And this is probably I'm gonna go by what she probably thinks. Hey Lorraine, this is probably either her second worst birthday and maybe her worst, because one birthday her oldest son was in the hospital with pneumonia and had to have he had to be cut open to get the secondary infection cleaned out of his lung. So he was in real bad shape with pneumonia. And that happened on her birthday. And so either that one or this one is her worst birthday. And I'll leave that up to her to decide, because her son was in bad shape, and you know how a lot of parents are. And so now she's in really bad shape. Lorena, I hope you're doing well. Thank you for coming. I was just telling Jamie and everybody else, my sister's doing much better. So I want to thank you all for prayers for her and ask you to continue to pray for her. But like I said, she's alert. She's still worn out some, but her voice sounds good. She looks good. When I was up there with her, her preacher, or the pastor of her church, came in, and he was there. He went up with me because she's only allowed 2 visitors at a time. So we stood and talked with her for a while. Then just before we left, her pastor, hey Jerry, her pastor prayed for her, and actually even prayed that I would get back safely, which I appreciate. But so she is doing a whole lot better. Another friend of mine now I'm worried about. She's being tested for hepatitis A, B, and C. I guess where she works, there's somebody had it, so she's got to be checked for it to find out. Chelsea, how you doing, Chelsea? Thank you for coming. And so anyway, that's what's going on. Like I said, oh, by the way, this is my last 2-day weekend. For those of you that don't know, this week here I'll still be working 2 in the afternoon to 9:30 at night. But this is the last week of that. And next week I start 8 in the morning to 6 in the evening. But I'll have every Saturday, Sunday, Monday off, and that starts next weekend. So I'll have Saturday, Sunday, Monday off, and I'll go in on Tuesday, and I'll be working 8 to 6, 4 days a week. I get paid for 9.5 hours, not 10, because the contract requires that anything over 6 hours, you have to take a half-hour lunch unpaid. So, because I'm there, both positions, I had to take a half-hour unpaid. One was 7.5, so I got paid for 7. This is 10, so I get paid for 9.5. The one I'm working right now, I get 35 hours a week, working 5 days. And the one I'm going to, I'll work 4 days a week and get 38 hours. So it sounds like a win-win-win to me. I'll work fewer days, get paid more money than that, and I'll be on day shift. And I'll be putting up a video probably within the next week. It'll be a quick video. It won't be a short. It'll be more than a minute long. I'm waiting on my whiteboard. And I'm going to make up a whiteboard showing the things I believe I need to get done or look into, and try to make a decision on what to do with it between now and the time I go to the Philippines. So any of you guys like Jamie and Jerry, especially Jamie and Dan, if he comes in, the guys that go over there for a long time, you may have some suggestions. So when I put the video up, if you watch it, in the comments, give me if I miss something, give me a comment. If you think you're gonna give me a nudge in the right direction on some of that stuff, like, well, check this out. This is a good place to check out. And if that happens, then just let me know, and we'll see what we can do. And, all right, we finally got it back up. My other phone finally came back up. Yeah, I really do enjoy 4-day work weeks. The place I was at before where I'm at now, I was actually working 4 10s, and I got paid all 10 hours because they didn't require me to take a half-hour lunch unpaid. And I was working Monday through Thursday. And I had Friday, Saturday, Sunday off. And I like having a day off during the week along with the weekend, because if you have to have a medical appointment or any kind of appointment, whether it's medical or let's say you need to go do something for your license or whatever, it doesn't matter. If it's an appointment you got to have, you can just make it on your day off during the week. Like I had to renew my driver's license. I went, I was able to do that when I was doing that when I was working the 4 10s. And I had to go in and renew my license. I had to go in and renew my registration for my car. And again, I went in on a day off during the week, took care of it, in and out, bing, bang, boom. And it's a lot easier to do on a day off than take a day off either with pay or without pay to take care of it. Now, there's always something you got to do, and what if there isn't, then you get 3 days to relax. I enjoy that too. So right now, I'm not planning on anything next weekend. Just actually enjoying my first 3-day weekend in about 4 or 5 months. Yeah, because my last one was around probably back in November or 1st of December. That's when I was working at that other site. So it'll be nice to have it again. And like I said, after this, every weekend is going to be a 3-day weekend. Another thing about having Mondays off, a lot of the holidays in the United States, not all, but a lot of them are set for Mondays. Well, where I work at, if it's a holiday, if they recognize it as a holiday, they shut down. So I either would have to take the day off without pay or take it as a vacation day. By already having it off as a regular day off, I don't have to do that. Now, there will be some holidays I'll have to either decide to take it as a paid day off or just take the time off. But this also will allow me to help save up money quicker, because there'll be more money coming in every week. So that'll help me save up my money for my emergency fund and my startup. I'm close to my startup as long as nothing really bad goes goes wrong. I'm pretty close, almost got what I want for startup. I'll convert some of that into Filipino pesos and take, so I don't have to stop and change any money at the airport or anywhere else. All right, Jeremy, thank you for coming. Jamie, I hope you and your girlfriend and our wife, I'm not sure if you're married or not, and your family over there are having a good time. I'm not sure how much longer you're going to be there before you have to go back to Canada. I know you go for a few months. That's the way Danny's been doing it. But Danny's hoping this will be the last time he has to go back and to the Philippines, then come back to the States. He's hoping this time, when he goes this time, he can be able to stay permanently. And I hope he can. I hope it works out for him. That's what I'm hoping to do. I gotta check some things out, and but yeah, I've been looking at some stuff, and I'll get some different pants. I won't do that till just before I go, I think, because I'm trying to lose weight, trying to get in a little bit better shape. But Vince, how you doing, Pat? Thank you for coming. We appreciate it. Happy Easter. I know it's Easter Sunday there. It's still Easter Eve here. Let me take this out. But anyway, right now, we're, like I said, I went up and saw my sister today. She's doing a whole lot better than what she had been doing. She's still in a little pain and still needs some rehabilitation, but she looks so much better than the last couple of times I saw her. So I'm really happy with that. But yeah, it's been a long day on the road today, about 7.5, probably, you had it all together, about 7.5 hours driving. A little over 3.5 up there and a little over 3.5 back. And that's counting stopping both times. I stopped once going up, stopped once coming home. And so I drove about, going up was almost 3 hours without stopping. We got Jerry coming up. Let me get him in the chat. Hey, Jerry.
Hey.
Oh, I can't hear you, Jerry. I took now. How you doing, Jerry?
Can you hear me?
My headphone out because I wasn't talking to anybody.
Oh, okay. You can hear me?
It's not your fault. It was just, I forgot I did it. And
are you able to hear me?
Man.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. How you been?
Okay, it's very windy Saturday. Well, it's windy March through about June.
Well, I ran into some wind when I was going up to see my sister. It was when I got closer to where she's at. Now she's almost 200 miles from me, a little over actually. So I probably traveled about 150 before I ran into any wind, but we did have rain, and it came down pretty good. I had my window open here just before I started the live stream, and just before I started, I opened it up to air the place out because it got up to about 75 today. For here, that's warm. So I opened up the living room window and I opened up the bedroom window, get a little cross breeze going, help air the place out. And I noticed that it was raining. Now I still got the living room window open because it's got a porch over it. There's a patio or a balcony over my patio, which blocks my window, so I don't get the rain from that way. But the back window was letting rain in, so I had to close my bedroom window to keep the rain out. Anime Reyes, how you doing? Melanie, thank you for coming. And so yeah, we it rained and off and on. It's been up in the 70s, like I said. Now, when I first got up, that was in the morning. It was in the 50s and it felt good. And then it kept getting warmer. And like I said, I finally got to around 75 here local.
Yeah, I think the 50s are a thing of the past now for us here.
Oh, I'd like to have the 50s for lows.
Yeah, it's not.
We've been going up and down. So I like to see it get to where when we get 50, we're calling it cool.
No cold fronts here.
I want to see where 70 is the low temperature.
Yeah, that's usually our low now. In summertime, it'd be 80.
Yeah. I like about 70, 75 for a low, about 80, 85 for a high.
Yeah, here's 80 for a low and 80% humidity.
Where I'm from, we got humidity compared to here. We got more humid. I don't think we rarely got to 80, but we did get to 70% humidity, quite a bit. And we would rarely have a breeze when it got that warm. And a lot of people think, oh, that's flat there. You always got a breeze. No, you don't, man. The dead air so much in the Midwest. You got dead air, man. It just hangs there.
And, we got the Gulf of Mexico, so we got that wind, but we also have the smoke, the haze from the agriculture burning in Central America.
Yeah.
Not at this time. And in the summer, we have the Saharan dust from Africa.
Yeah.
And sometimes it just.
It can be like I said, when I was out in San Diego, you got the Santa Ana winds,
Yeah, that's brutal. That's horrible.
Yeah.
Because of the fires.
Oh, yeah. Start fires and stuff. Like I said, I was out in California for, most of the time. I was out there for over 5 years, but most of the time I was actually there. About a little over a year I was overseas during that time.
But that's dry heat, isn't it?
4 years in San Diego.
Isn't that dry heat?
It depends on the time of year, but yeah, it could be dry. It was a little drier, but it would get. If you wanted to be cooler, you got close to the ocean.
Yeah, see here.
You could tell when you got close to the ocean. You could tell the difference in temperature because you'd feel it once you start dropping down towards the ocean. It could be like 10 degrees cooler.
Yeah, same here. With the
down by the
coast. You go to the coast. Yeah, with the coast. Once you go over there, it's cooler in that night. Well, cooler during the day, but nice during the day because of course you got the ocean. It's not gonna warm up like here in then.
Anna G, how you doing, Anna G? Happy Christmas. Happy Easter. Christmas. Listen to me. I get ahead of myself.
Yeah, several months.
Yeah, but that'd be a lot closer to my retirement.
Yeah.
I'm back in the cold, man. I'm not looking forward to that.
No. I'm looking when I go to Pangasinan, I'm thinking of going to Baguio.
Yeah.
So I'll be searching. I wanted to stay 1 day, but they told me to stay at least 2 days.
It might be a place I visit sometime, but it's not going to be a place I go to very quickly. If I want to go to the mountain area, because like I said, I'm going to be in Cebu, the place I'd probably go first would be Valencia.
Yeah, I'll see if you're over there. It'd be over there. It's not just because it's closer that way, but for me, Pangasinan and Baguio, which is Benguet, is only 2 or 3 hours away.
Yeah, it's closer for you. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, but
for me, from that province, yeah.
From where I'm going to be, Valencia would be closer. And as you know, as you go up in elevation, it gets cooler.
Yeah, but it's their
Crazy kid, how you doing, man?
Their elevation isn't Colorado elevation.
Yeah. Well, the higher up in elevation, you get to cooler temperatures.
But yeah, it's not going to be brutal.
You go higher up.
Yep. I've been to Colorado.
Yeah, Colorado, you get higher up in the elevations, it gets colder or cooler.
Yeah, well, I went in November and it was damn cold.
So it gets colder in the winter and cooler in the summer.
Yep, I was Colorado at the National Forest, It was 14,000 feet above sea level. That first night I vomited. That's because I was walking and getting transitioning for that change. But then after that night,
I
yeah,
will
I
be
got,
honest with you. If I've ever been up a mountain, I've not known it. So I've never been up one of the big ones, you know.
yeah, that's where that national forest is, was anywhere between 12,000 and 14,000 feet above sea level.
All right. Hey, Susanna, sorry I didn't say hi to you, but hello. We got Crazy Kid, Anna G, Melanie.
Mel?
Mertz was here earlier. Anna Mae Reyes.
Yes.
Jamie from Off the Cuff Adventures with Jamie. Although he's eating breakfast right now, he said he'd be back. We
It's
got
Easter for
Lorraine
them.
Parharas, Yin Aaron Sai is here. Chelsea.
Easter for them. We still have another 6 hours or so to go. 5 hours.
Jalen, how you doing, Jalen? Happy Easter to you. She says happy Easter to everybody.
Yeah, hey, we gotta let them know happy advanced Easter.
Anna G says you go first to Pagasinan surgery, then Baguio.
Yeah, because I'm gonna be in Pangasinan for. I had planned I had planned 3 days, but I might stay 5 days, 3 days there, and a day and a half, 2 days in Baguio.
Yeah.
And Pangasinan is where Crystal's Adventure is from.
Yeah, but she was wanting to know if she sure heard right if you were going to Pagasinan first, then Baguio,
Yeah.
and she did hear right. So she'll probably want to know more about that later.
Yeah, I'll be in Lingayen in Pangasinan, but I'm gonna travel. I want to visit 4 cities, or I guess municipalities. I want to go to Binmali, Bugayon, and Labrador, and there's a river in Aguilar. It's like really clean, really pretty. I want to go check out that river.
Okay.
Who was that asked about that?
Anna G.
Anna G. So no, but Anna G is from Mindanao, I believe.
She wants to know if you're going solo, Jerry.
Probably not. Probably the family that I hang out with. They have relatives over there. That's why I know Pangasinan, because of them. Because they have basically, I guess, their ancestors, their grandparents, parents, so forth. They're all from Pangasinan, or were, because and they still have relatives.
Mindanao.
Yeah, Anna G is from because she speaks Chavacano.
Yeah, Anna G is Mindanao, however you pronounce it.
Yeah, Mindanao in the southern.
I pronounced it right there.
Yeah, southern.
That would be somewhere. Isn't that where Davau's at?
Yeah, Davao City, but in that
one of the cities
area.
I want to visit is Davao.
Yeah, because
Jamie and Danny, they don't live too far from Davao City, so I'll be able to visit with them. But
I'm
not sure when I'm going to go there. But like I said, when I first get there, I'll spend a month or two right in Cebu area. I probably won't go anywhere else. She says the Chavacano.
Yeah, Chavacano. Chavacano,
the kind of broken Spanish.
Dialect. Yep, it's like Spanish.
Okay. I used to understand more Spanish than I do now. Been too many years.
Yeah, but because if you don't practice it or don't hear the communication, and of course,
you lose it.
Yeah, you lose it. It's like me. I just know very little.
I took a year of Spanish in high school.
I took it in
junior high. In grade school. And I can't remember. It's either second half of third grade or first half of fourth, because I had Spanish one of those 2 times and French the other.
Yeah, I took French in high school.
I took it in grade school. It was it wasn't a choice. The whole class took it.
Yeah, it's was a requirement at school.
Yeah, it was a requirement. Well, we had a requirement to take foreign language in high school if you wanted a college degree, high school diploma. Not college degree, but showing you were going towards high school. I mean college, and a high school diploma type thing, college prep. But you were supposed to take 2 years of it. I didn't like it enough because I didn't like my Spanish teacher, so I dropped out of it. So I only took 1 year. So I got a general diploma. It was a high school diploma, but all my other courses were college prep. I took algebra, trigonometry, geometry. I took all the major history courses and English courses and all that. So all the courses I took were college prep courses, but I just only took 1 year foreign language instead of 2 years.
Yeah.
And but I had no, even then I had no plan to go to college. My plan was when I graduated from high school, ever since I could remember, I was going into the service. Now, what branch I was going into would change from Marine Corps, Air Force, Army, Navy. It would go back and forth once in a while. And I was pretty sure I was going to go into the Marine Corps until a couple of months when I decided to join. That I joined the Navy. And so, but like I said, right up until just before I joined, maybe a month before I joined, it was Marine Corps that I decided to go Navy. I think I've told you the story, or at least I've told the story numerous times, how my brother went in with me when I was going in to sign up for it. And my recruiter was the same guy that recruited my brother the year before. So he knows my brother's last name. We're sitting there side by side. And he's telling me about, hey, don't judge the Navy by the boot camp and this, that, and the other thing. He says, it's nothing like, once you get out of boot camp, Navy's nothing like that. He says, if you don't believe me, you can ask this guy here. He just graduated from boot camp not too long ago. And I said, yeah, I know, it's my brother. And he looked at me and he looked at my brother. He goes, you guys don't look anything alike. He said, I knew you had the same last name. He said, the only thing you guys got in common is the color of your eyes. Because my brother Jim was like almost 6 foot tall. I'm 5'8". Jim was thin and slim. I'm stocky, short and stocky. Jim was dark complected. I'm about as white complected as you can get if I don't have any sun on me. So we're totally different when you look at us.
You need a lot of long sleeve shirts in the Philippines.
Well, if you see my legs, you'll see how white I am.
Yeah.
And unless you see my leg with a scar, and that one looks red on from about the calf down. That's a scar from cellulitis.
Mm.
And so it's got some dark red, and it's red. But if you look above it, you'll see it looks almost snow white. I know. But I've been looking. They got what they call, I think they call them combination pants. You can wear them like regular long pants, a cargo, or they got a thing where you can zip off the bottom part and wear them as shorts.
Yeah.
I think I may get some of those before I go over. Because if you're going to go hiking in the woods or something, I would rather have the long pants on. And
you definitely need some American size clothing, because when my luggage was delayed, basically like the underwear, that's the large is not large. It's more like
I'll have some of that on my carry-on.
Yep. And I only had two of them because everything else was in the luggage. I only had a t-shirt and one short. I had to go to an ukay store and buy clothing for these 3 or 4 days. Remember how Chris and Cebu would always walk near? I think it was one or two ukay stores.
There's normally UK stores everywhere.
Yeah.
Well, especially if you go to a fair size village, even. I don't think you have to be in the city to get that.
No.
But Melinda, thank you for coming. And Dan, how you doing, man? Thanks for coming. Dan saying hello to everybody.
Nope.
Root beer. Don't drink it very often, but I like my root beer. But Min says she likes uke too.
Yeah. Well, I had no choice. I had to go because
Well,
it's for a Westerner. That's where you find clothes that'll fit you.
Yeah. Well, especially if you're only there short term, like you are.
Yep.
You take Dan and those of us, myself, hopefully when I get there, those of us that'll be long term, we can order through Amazon.
Yeah.
So we can get to Western style. Now we're gonna have to get new, but I'm not a person that likes shopping, so I'd rather buy it online and have it shipped to me. I'm not a person that likes to wander through and check everything out, because that's what you got to do if you go to Uka, or however you pronounce it, because you got to look for your right size, and I don't think they have it categorized as size, do they?
No, it's like a thrift store here. It's similar to the thrift store.
All sizes now in department stores.
Yeah, you gotta search for the size. It's that's the way I saw it. The ukay that I went to.
Yeah.
It was near the mall over there in Santa Cruz where I was staying. It's just I thought about it as a thrift store. Because that's where I buy my clothes.
Yeah.
At a secondhand. I don't
Yeah.
buy. The only thing that I buy new would be like T-shirts at the Walmart.
Yeah.
But I'm not a fancy dresser. I don't need to have a $20-$50 T-shirt or dress shirt. I don't need $100 pants.
Well, these shirts I'm wearing, these are the UA. It's like wearing sunscreen. It's like wearing SPF 50.
I have seen, but you have the condition that is benefits you.
Yeah.
I'm more moreno.
And they're not heavy. I mean, it really isn't. It's a light shirt.
Yeah.
So I got some of these. I may get more. I may not, because I got quite a few. I got the swim shirts. I got quite a few of those. So when I go swimming, I wear them as T-shirts right now. But when I go swimming, I'll be over in the Philippines. I'll wear them because that's what they're designed for. And I do have gloves that I can wear that when I drive, I put them on when it's really sunny out, and it's the same thing. They're designed to be like wearing sunscreen on them. And my hands are really bad, so I started wearing those. And I'll probably get a different hat besides my cowboy hat. I'll probably get one of those like bush hats that's got the thing in the back to protect your neck.
Yep. You can find those.
So
do you have Academy over there?
When people see me, they're going to see somebody walking around with long sleeve shirts on and probably long pants and a hat, and they're going to think, "Look at that doofus." But if it's bright and sunny, buddy, I'm going to have all the protection on I can get. And just like if I don't plan on buying a motorcycle, I don't even know if I'll ever ride one. But if I do, I'm wearing a helmet. I guarantee you that. Because that'll help protect from the sun. I never wore a helmet when I rode bikes, unless it was cold out. That's the only time I wore a helmet back home when I was riding my bikes back in the 90s. When I was riding my motorcycle, the only time I wore the helmet was when it was cold to help keep my face warm. I really didn't wear them. Because in Indiana, we didn't have to wear helmets.
No.
I don't know if they do now or not, but they never did the whole time I was riding a bike. And it was up to you. Now, the only people, take that back. If you only had a learner's permit, you were supposed to wear a helmet. A lot of people, and I'm one of them, didn't wear a helmet with just a learner's permit because they couldn't pull you over for not wearing one because it was legal not to wear one. All right. So unless you're breaking another law, they're not going to pull you over. So
Yeah.
I didn't speed on my bike. I did stay within the speed limit most of the time. I wasn't driving like a, it's how you'll see how some people drive. They're swerving in and out of traffic. I never did.
Yeah.
I just rode my bike and enjoyed the weather. Now, if I got on the thruway, I got up in speed, but probably no more than what most of the cars were doing. So I was speeding maybe 5-10 miles over the speed limit, but that'd be it. But I didn't do that in the city. And I didn't go on the highway that often. And it was normally just for a short distance, and I'd get back off the highway. Because like I said, I wasn't wearing a helmet, so I didn't want to go too long at that speed. But nowadays, because like you were saying, my skin condition, I gotta take all the precautions I can take, and so we'll see what happens. Dan, I'll be doing it all the time. I probably won't. If I have any short sleeve shirts, there'll be shirts I'll be wearing at night or when it's raining. Dan, I saw a T-shirt. Or no, it was on a sweatshirt. But the design I want, it's got Snoopy laying down with Woodstock on his stomach. I think Woodstock's laying down, and it says, "I'm retired. I don't want to. I don't have to, and you can't make me." I want that T-shirt. I want that on a shirt of some kind. Just that's going to be me when I retire. I'm retired. I don't want to do it. You can't make me do it. I don't have to do it. He said, "Yeah, I don't want to do it. I don't have to do it. You can't make me." It's like that's going to be me. I'm looking forward to that. But Dan, I was saying earlier, and I think it might have been before Jerry got here. Although Jerry may have already been here, I can't remember. I'm waiting on a whiteboard, and I'm going to write down all the stuff I need to look into and take care of before I go to the Philippines. So when I show the whiteboard, it's going to be a couple of minutes long probably because I want people to see what I got written down. If there's something I got wrong or something that I left off, please feel free to leave that in the comments. I'll probably be wearing socks, but I don't know if I'll wear Crocs. I'll probably wear water shoes or sandals that, I have a pair of water sandals, but they're not the kind that you just, they're not the flip-flop type. My flip-flops, the only flip-flops I wear is I wear them for shower shoes. Now, I'll probably have a pair of Crocs because I think I'll use those for my indoor shoes. Slip out one of the shoes I wear outside, slip the Crocs on them. Like here, I wear slippers at home. I take my boots off, my tennis shoes off, and I put on a pair of slippers. Although I am guilty of, I'll walk around my apartment with the shoes on. But usually once I'm done and I'm home, or when I first get up, I put slippers on, and that's all I wear until I'm ready to either leave the apartment, or once I get home, I'm not going back out. At least don't plan on going back out. Then I take the shoes off and just have I'll put on a pair of slippers. But like I said, I'll probably switch to Crocs because some of the Crocs are more comfortable. I do have Crocs as well, but right now, if I put those on, it's because I don't feel like putting my shoes on and I want to step outside. So I'll put the Crocs on, step outside, do whatever I got to do outside, whether it's just go to the car real quick or something like that, and then I'll come back in. I bought the Crocs originally because I used them as water shoes, shower shoes, but they were more of a pain. So I have ugly toes. Dan says sometimes he goes out without shoes, but he goes, I have ugly feet. I'll have to find a good manicurist and pedicurist over there because I hate cutting my own toenails. I really have a hard time doing it. I need to go to get to the nail shop here pretty soon and get it done again. I just as soon pay somebody to do it. I have so much trouble doing it. But I probably don't get it done as much as I should. But yeah, Dad, I rarely don't have socks on. I do when I first get up in the morning. But once I get my shower taken and I get dressed, just say I just putting on my pants. I'll put my socks on and then I'll put my pants on and I'll walk around. I keep a shirt in the living room that if somebody comes by, I can throw a shirt on real quick. But if I'm just in the apartment, I rarely have a shirt on. But then again, I wouldn't want to subject people to seeing me without a shirt. I got man boobs. And I don't think that's a pretty sight. But, you know, we all have to do what we got to do, right? So now, Jerry, you said you're going in November, the end of November, 1st of December?
Yeah, late November, but I arrived there December the 1st.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Now, see, I'm thinking I won't go at the earliest. It'll probably be February because I've been thinking about it. If I go in January, it's going to be hard to find a place because of Cinelog.
Yeah, because
Cinelog will be going on in the first part of January. So it'd be hard to find a place. So I'm leaning more towards either February or March right now. And like I said, that'll also depend on whether or not I'll have my startup money, but will I have my emergency fund? That's what I got to worry about. See, I'm close to having what I want for a startup fund already. I hadn't been for having to go to the funeral and stuff. I'd already be there, so I had it. And I'll be perfectly honest about it. If I really had to, I'd have enough to do it right now. But I mean, I'd have to go right now, but I wouldn't have the money for the plane tickets, and that's the stuff I got to build up. But some of that'll come from selling everything I own, pretty much. My furniture and stuff like that, and my car. That should hopefully give close to, if not enough, money for my plane ticket. And then I just need to have more money saved back for emergency funds. Because, there's medical, you don't have medical insurance over there. You got to self-insure. And even if you do have medical insurance, depends on what you have. You still have to have some money to help cover the cost.
Yep. I'm gonna log off, Larry.
Huh?
I'm gonna log off.
All right. Well, thanks for coming up, Jerry.
Yep.
You're getting
No
nice sleep, but I
problems.
know it's getting close to your bedtime.
Yeah, we don't talk. Well, a little bit. Talks is live already.
All right. Well, tell Talk hi.
Send her your message there. Yeah, I'll be there a little bit. I know a lot of these Filipinos are doing 4, 5, 6, 8 hours. I can't do any of that.
I can't either. A lot of them do silent ones, and I can't do those.
Yeah, I don't even watch those.
I'll watch it a little bit, just on some of the people that I follow. I won't stay real long, but just it shows a little bit more time for them.
Yeah,
give them a thumbs up. Just put a little love. Maybe stay 10, 15 minutes, and then I'm out. If it's a silent one, I don't stay long at all.
Yeah, so let me go to Talk's channel for a little bit, and then off to bed. Gotta see where I'm gonna go in the morning.
Dan's giving me good news right now. Dan says apartments are available all over the place now for cheap. He said
Yeah,
him and Matt Manny are thinking about renting one or two places, renting one in Cebu and possibly Clark. He says we'll see what happens next year.
for me, cheap is 5K or less, 4 to 5K. But then I would imagine would be 15K
Let's see, 5K is what?
a month. To me, that's cheap. But I imagine Dan would probably say no, 15K is cheap.
Yeah. Well, no, not if he's thinking about renting two places. He's not thinking that.
Yeah.
No.
I'm more of the Barry that's still locked up. I don't have no idea how he survived with so little. Well, I guess people helped him out. But
And Dan's saying, Jerry, Dan says 15 max.
yeah, for me,
Well, 15's only
6K
about
max.
300. I would go 300.
I'd get a house for that amount.
Well,
I don't know,
depends on where you're
provincia.
living. I mean, you're not going to get a house in the city for that.
Yeah, not in the city, in the provincia, out in the
start
province.
off in Cebu and see, it may turn out to be too large. He says, but 10,000 is very doable right now.
Yeah, that one would be suitable. Well,
10,000.
I'm off.
I would do that in a heartbeat.
Yep.
Because you take even at let's say I'm spending 300 for my apartment. All right. Now you take utilities. Let's say it's 200 a month, United States money. Let's say 300 for the apartment, 200 for my utilities, and I'm talking electric and water and all that together.
Yeah.
And I could spend my internet, my phone, and probably a week's worth of groceries, and I still haven't spent what I spent for one month's rent here in my apartment, not counting my utilities and my groceries.
Yeah, so true. Well, you have a good evening, and everybody good day.
We'll see you next time, man.
Yeah, let me go say hi to Tox.
All right, like I said, tell her hi from all of us.
I will.
And I'll probably go to Elvie's here. She's doing one about 9:30, so I'll probably.
Yeah, Elvie does her. I seldom go to hers because it's pretty late at night already for me.
I know. Well, sometimes I'm just ready to go to bed because sometimes she'll start earlier than that.
Yeah.
And by the time I get home and get around to getting on there, she's already done or she's close to done.
Oh,
the other day she was already done. She'd already did her and closed down. And so she started a little earlier. And I didn't get on until after 10 because I don't get home till 10 o'clock when I work. I don't get home till about 10, especially if I stop anywhere. Then I don't get home till almost 10:30, which that night I stopped at the grocery store. I had to buy some stuff. So by the time I got on the YouTube channel, she had already finished. So I wasn't able to join in. But Dan, you going to come up? But yeah, Dan, like I said, when I put up my whiteboard video, which I'll probably do later this week, my whiteboard didn't come in today. They said it's going to be later. I'm going to sit down, figure out what to write down on my whiteboard. I know my passport's good, but I'll have to, and I'll put that on there so people will say, what is that? It's like, well, you got to have over 6 months when you enter left on your passport, or they won't let you in. I got a couple of years left on my passport, so I'm good there. And I'll put down some other things like and you guys can make suggestions on some of this stuff that I'm looking at, like what you went with, how I can do it, or advise me to your video on it if you did a video yourself on it, because I'm going to need a virtual mailbox, some other stuff that I know that I'll need to set myself up to move there. So like I said, I'll be sitting down after I get the whiteboard and working it out on how I want to, put it up. And then I'll probably use a green check beside each one when I know it's done and complete. And I'll give an update on it once in a while. Might even do some videos on what I'm doing. Now, that may wait. Some of that's going to have to wait till I'm closer to, like the virtual mailbox. I'm going to have to be a lot closer to moving. We got Dan coming up. We bring him up. Dan, how you doing, man?
Hey, what's going
Here's your
on?
little scooter.
Yeah, that's Minnie's. Minnie's new
That's
e-ride
Minnie's,
bike.
electric?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Looks
that
like it's got a back
gets
seat
around
on
a
it.
little bit. Huh?
Is that a back seat on it? You got her seat.
It
The
goes
regular bike's like a
way too
bicycle seat.
fast.
And then behind her, there's a.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, though, is that that
Passenger
that's the
seat.
behind her too, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that's
cool.
right. So she's had a passenger on there.
Yeah, she took
But,
her.
you
Took
know,
her niece
the-
with her one time, didn't she?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Faith and
That was it.
They said
you
that-
were talking to your niece about that.
yeah, it goes fast.
Yeah.
Goes really
She said-
fast.
she trusts Minnie's driving.
Yeah.
I saw.
Oh wait,
I saw
I
that
gotta
video.
turn. Yeah, I gotta turn sideways here.
There you go.
Anyway.
That's a nice looking electric scooter.
Mm-hmm.
Now, yours is a little bigger, isn't it?
Yeah, it's over here covered up, and it's been raining, so I don't want to go over and uncover it.
That's
But
fine. That's fine. Now yours has got
it
a
needs
roof.
some-
to it.
yeah, it needs some modifications. It's not only got a roof; it's got a windshield wiper.
Yeah. I saw.
Yeah,
I saw the video on you guys looking at them.
Yeah, we
And
we
then you
picked
went
up a
for
couple.
ride.
Yeah,
I saw that.
yeah, they ended up making a good deal on 2 of them, so we ended up popping for them. But I have regrets on this one because I wish I would have gotten one of these instead. And
And
so.
why is that?
Because this thing it has a high center of gravity, and that makes it a little bit dangerous going around corners. It's got
Okay.
plenty of power, but it's a little bit rickety. And so if you ride it for a while, you'll forget that you have to be careful going around in corners. So
Well,
that's what
I'll tell you a little secret, Dan.
yeah.
You drop it once or twice, you'll remember.
You fall over once or twice.
That's what I said. You drop it going around a corner. You go down.
Yeah,
You'll
I'm
remember.
gonna I think I'll keep it, but I'll do some modifications on it. I
Yeah.
gotta put some training wheels on it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Make
So that if it goes around the corner.
Make it a 3-wheeler with the three wheels in the front. You can buy kits that turn those things. I know that you can do it for scooters. They'll turn them into tracks.
Yeah, that's right. I was looking at some kits online a little while ago. So they have kits that you can modify them so it makes them a little bit more safe. I think we'll do that.
Nothing wrong with doing that.
Yeah.
It's like I'll be honest. If I was to buy a bike right now,
No, Larry, I want you to lie to me. I want you to lie to me.
But if I had the money to
Don't
buy
be
whatever
honest.
bike I want, it would be a trike. Probably the what they call a reverse trike.
You know what?
2 wheels are in the front instead of the back.
2 wheels. Oh yeah. You know, what's that cat doing up there? He's enjoying himself. Hey, it would be good. I like the 4-wheel design, If
Yeah.
they were giving me a good trade-in on this, I probably would go and buy the golf cart.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I might do that. I might do that anyway. People are kind of laughing at me because I'm going to lose money on this deal for sure.
Well, they've got 4-wheelers. That are not
I saw
golf carts.
one, they had one in stock and I didn't even look at it. The 3-wheeler looked so good on display on the showroom. You know how
Yeah.
you could get hooked on something? It's like going out buying a new car.
Yeah.
Next thing you know,
fixated either on the color or the style.
yeah, Yeah. It has the new car smell.
Oh yeah. You know, I've only had
Anyway.
that one. The new car
And then
smell.
they threw in free delivery and all this other crap.
The car I got now is the only new car I ever bought. I've never
Mm.
bought a new car till then.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever owned a new car. Maybe once I did. You
Well-
remember those little green Fiats? They looked like
Yeah.
a box. I had one of them.
Well, the
Yeah.
only reason I bought new this time, when I was buying is back when they were having the chip shortage here, back in 21.
Mm.
Used cars were expensive.
Wow.
I mean, they were expensive. I went and looked at a 3-year-old Forester, Subaru Forester, exact same package as a brand new one. And this one's
Uh-huh.
3 years old. It was only three
Yeah.
grand less than a brand new one. It's like, why would I pay you $3 grand less? I got a car 3 years old, 3 more winters on it, more mileage on it. It's like, no. And I bought the Crosstrek because if I'd have bought the Forester, I'd had to wait a month or more before I got it because of the chip shortage.
Right.
And when they had
Chip
the
shortage,
they had
but
two-
the Forster's a popular ride anyway, you know?
well, all it was hard to find any new car without having
Yeah.
to wait. And I mean,
I
the
got my
Outback,
money.
You had to wait on the Outback, the Impreza. You even had to wait on the Crosstrek, except for they had 2 that were the premium package. And
I got
that's
my
the only
money
reason
cut.
they were still in the lot. They were the premium package, which means they had all the bells and whistles, you know.
Uh-huh.
And so it's like I don't care. If I'm gonna overpay, I'm gonna overpay for a brand new car. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
overpay for a
I
used
took a look at the Forester. Too expensive, you know?
Yeah.
Too expensive.
Yeah. So like I said, I ended up buying the Crosstrek.
But
Yeah,
now
I
we
got
have
all
this
these
fine
bells and
ride here.
Huh?
Now we got this fine Suzuki van, you know, which gets us around just fine.
I'm gonna tell you, I won't buy a car in the Philippines. I'm not buying one.
Yeah, you don't have to. You don't have to.
No.
You don't need
Well,
one.
It's just me. And if I stay in the city, in Cebu, I definitely won't buy it. I won't even buy a bike.
Don't need
It's so
one,
expensive.
really.
Huh?
Hey, by the way, you know, there's one guy. Who's that guy? I see him every once in a while in Cebu. His name's Mike. And he's got a successful YouTube channel, not like mine, a micro channel, but he
Hey, Tim.
he kind of was bashing Cebu the other day, and I got to tell you, yeah, you know, I love Cebu. I love Manila too, though, and that's the thing. You know, I love just about every city that I've ever visited in the Philippines. There's something unique about each city, each area that I like, and so I can't imagine anybody not liking Cebu, really.
Well, he's not saying he didn't like Cebu. He just likes Dumaguete better.
Yeah, you know, and sure, because at Dumaguete, it's the USA. If you don't want to leave the United States,
Well,
just go to Dumaguete where they fly the American flag at City Hall, for crying
the
out
thing
loud,
is,
you know?
Also, for him and his wife Janet, she's from that area,
Right.
and her family is really good. They don't ask him for money. If they want to take off, they'll watch her son. Now, her son lives with them. He takes care of the son.
Yeah.
You know,
No. The men usually live where the girlfriend or the wife came from. That's pretty much the pattern. Just like us, you know.
yeah. Well,
But you know, it would be really cool though to have you know, like we rented for 6 months that apartment at MIT Residences before. Well, I think we're getting ready to talk about doing that again. Because the airport in Cebu, the dang thing is so convenient. But this time, I've been talking to Ma'am Minnie about living on Mactan Island, living near the airport. somewhere over there.
Yeah.
Rents are actually cheaper the further out you go.
Let me say hello to Tim Diziak. He's here. Co-host Retro Gaming. Hello. And Life. Now, Life has got a lot longer name than that. It's in the spelling is in a foreign language. So I won't even attempt to try to read it.
Oh, Life is
Life,
here. Hi, Life.
So
How are you?
And Tim's saying Happy Easter to everybody.
Tim, I think we're going to be heading north. I think we're going to be heading to Clark real soon. I'm looking kind of forward to seeing Tim. But you know something, we're a slight delay, Tim. A slight delay because our house helper left us. So we have to wait till we get another house helper and get her trained and up to speed. We have selected somebody, but it's going to take a couple weeks delay so that we can get them trained.
Okay. Well, that's one of the things about that place you were renting in Cebu I like. You said you can hire somebody to come in like once a week or twice a week, whatever you want, to clean your place.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, all you had to do is go down to the manager's office and say, "Hey, do you have somebody available?" And they would send somebody up. Hey, you know what's really interesting about MIT is that since that time, I've wanted to return there, but I get a cold response whenever I show up there, and they're always very pleasant and very nice, but they never give me an affirmative answer. Yeah, we got a place for you to rent. So I was curious, and I went around looking online, and they're on Booking.com and they're on Airbnb, and they must be doing well over there, you know, because before when we rented that place, they were a little bit, you know, they were, well, not a little bit, they were very, you know, oh yeah, come, we want you to rent this place. Yeah, definitely. We got it available, you know, and then now they're like, oh, hi, Dan, it's so nice to see you. They're always very pleasant, but they don't have anything to offer up. And so that's how we ended up that one time doing the month run over there at 18 Suites. And I'm going to have to give them a call. I really enjoyed 18 Suites. That's up the street from MIT. It's the same area. We know it very well. It's only a 15-minute walk to Ayala, 15-minute walk to IT Park. And so it's got the perfect location, the right price. But since then, though, you know, rents have gone down in price quite a bit. And so I'm thinking, man, we need to shop around a little bit, you know, because the rents are going down.
Like I said, that's what I'll do. I don't need a pool. I don't need a pool at the place I rent. If I can find one that's decently priced that has a pool, that's fine. I'm just saying, I don't have to have the pool. The pool is something I can do without if I can save money. But if you're looking at two places that there's very little difference in rent, I'll probably take the one with the pool. You know, but if there's a big difference, like $100, I'm sorry, I'll save the 100. But if it's like $25,
I know. Neither one of those places, I believe, has a pool. I don't remember a pool.
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't have to. That's fine with me.
Yeah. They didn't have a pool and a gym, you know. Hey, you know that Hopi Indian prophecy? It said, "One day man will pay to walk." That's what a gym is.
Yeah. You know what?
One day man will pay to walk.
Gyms. You'll have people who pay to go to the gym.
Yeah.
Run on their treadmill or walk or do whatever.
Yeah.
And when they go to the store, they drive around to find the closest place they can park instead of just parking in the back and walking up.
That's a good point.
Back and walk up.
That's so funny, but true, you know, but it's funny. It's hilarious.
You'll see people going to the grocery store or the store in their workout clothes, and they will drive around looking for that really close parking spot so they can run in the store real quick. It's like, because they got to get to the gym, you know. It's like, or they just
it's pretty amazing.
Oh, it is. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I can understand you want to go to the gym and work out, but if you're willing to pay to go work out, get those extra few steps in for free.
Oh, sure, sure.
You save gas. You know, because people will drive around 5 minutes or more looking for, sometimes 10 minutes or more, looking for a closer place to park. And if you go to the
You know, I'm
back,
kind of,
there's usually a place to park.
well, if we go visit Tim, we'll definitely be doing a lot of walking around. But things have changed so much there in the tourist district. I'm anxious to see what it looks like now. They changed the name of it. It's all nicely paved. We were there when they got through paving it and stuff and redoing the concrete walkways, and it is much nicer. But there's a whole bunch of other stuff going on. For example, they got the train. They got the train for the commuter train going from Manila to Clark. It's coming right through, right across the bow of the walking street. I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And so they've got it, or Fields Avenue. And so they got that bridge coming in there and it's going to go right over the top. I'm a little concerned about that. It looks to me like they're trying to bypass the walking street and that part of Angela City and Pampanga and making a beeline to Clark. I don't know if Tim has done any research on that, but it looks like it's going to be an elevated track. And I hope there's at least a stop there because a lot of people live in Angela City. I'd hate for them to bypass it. But I've seen a lot of cities in time. I've seen this happen a lot of times. They want to cut somebody out of the loop. You know, they will just bypass their town using that popular commuter train or subway. They won't even stop. They'll just wave as they're passing by. I hope that doesn't happen.
So it's going to be an L train, huh?
Yeah, sure
That's what
is.
they call it in Chicago.
I mean, it's going to be a beautiful thing.
Or elevated
Yeah.
L train.
Yeah, it's going to be beautiful too. I'm telling you, Larry, because it'll bring all kinds of money and opportunity to the area. That's why I'm thinking about Clark, because once you get that bad boy built, the economy there is just going to explode because workers will be able to move back and forth, commute. That's why it's called the commuter train between Manila and all parts in between out to Clark where they really need that labor. So housing is very expensive when you get out to Clark, but in between there, as you travel along, like different places, it's a lot cheaper, and they're trying to attract those folks into the area because they need the labor in Clark, and so I think that's what's going on there.
Okay. Oh, by the way, Dan, I don't know if you see the chat. Tim says just let him know when you're coming, and he'll let Nelson
Yeah,
know.
I will. It's going to be a 2-week delay, it looks like. Plus, Tim, elections are here, and it's kind of prudent to stay indoors during elections.
Yep. And he just said that so he can let Nelson know, so he can be available for you and Man Manny.
Oh yeah, that'd be great. I like Nelson. Yeah, good guy.
Yeah, he just wants to let Nelson know that when you're coming, so he can be available.
Mm-hmm.
But now, see, I'll have to visit Angela City just to visit Tim, and if I'll go to Walking Street, but it's going to be during the day. I have no desire to go down there.
Well, I'm telling you, I like it at night a lot better. I mean, I like it both times. I like to people watch, and they have where Envy used to be. They have a brand new spanking place. I don't know what it is. If it's a restaurant, a bar, a gathering place, I'm not sure what it is, but I'm anxious to see that thing open. It's across from Philly's where a regular guy hangs out. So it's going to change the face of that area. It really, I mean, the capital investment on that place must have been huge. And that's always a good thing.
Hello, Crystal. Crystal says hello, Dan.
Hey, how's it going, Crystals? It's always an
Dan,
adventure when Crystals and Mark are around.
Because you're on your cell phone, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Let's see. Can you see that? It's
looks like a silver coin.
That's the back of a quarter. You know, a lot of times quarters have writing on it. This just has a picture of a woman. So U.S. quarter. Yeah.
You better find out about that.
I know, that's what I'm thinking.
That thing might be a one of them $1 million coins, you know?
Misprint.
Yeah.
So I got to check into that. That's why I said
Yeah.
we decided sitting here on my computer desk. That's something I'll check on. But
Yeah,
I've never
Google
seen
it.
a quarter with a picture on the back and no writing, not telling you it's from this state or this tribe or says nothing.
That is so unusual. I hope it's worth a few 100,000 at least.
I'd be happy with 1,000.
Yeah.
I'm not greedy.
Oh, them
A few
them
100,000.
coins, them kind of.
I'm going to be honest now. A couple 100,000, I'm set to go.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm saying I hope it's worth a few 100,000 and we'll see a lot sooner than later. As a matter of fact, April, I think, is one of the cheapest traveling months that you got coming here to the Philippines. There are sales all over the place. But the thing is, it's supposed to be like summertime here, and it's been raining just about every day since we got back from Davao City.
Well, I'm going to tell you, it's probably a bad time to go in May and June. And
Yeah.
I'll tell you why. Colleges get out, people going home. You know, a lot of colleges finish in May and June.
Oh,
so,
but I think they're only getting the break
Huh?
ain't that big. The break ain't months. I think the schools are starting right up again, just like that. Boom, 1 week off and then back to work.
but I'm talking about here in the States.
Oh, they're not. Have you seen the tourism numbers? They're in the toilet.
No, I'm talking about the students going back home, whether it's wherever they're flying to a different
Yeah.
country to go home.
Yeah, I wish people were coming here.
They're going to be flying. I'm not talking about flying to the States. I'm talking about flying anywhere overseas.
Yeah.
Because the college is letting out. You've got more students going home. Those that just graduated, those that are going home for the summer, if their parents have money.
Tell you, I wish they were coming here. But they ain't coming here. Because there's sales all over the place. They're trying to entice people to get on a plane. Including Philippine Airline. When did you ever see them having a sale?
Tim, from what I can see, it looks like 2023.
Oh, Tim's looking it up for you. He's good doing stuff like that. He'll give you the factoid.
I've not had any rain here, but it's getting up to over 100 degrees every day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hope your air conditioning is working just fine.
I wish I'd been home. Well, outside of I went to see my sister, so I'm glad. But I'm saying, if I'd been home, I'd have had the windows open. Although I probably would have had to turn the air on because it did get up to 75. But I probably just had the windows open and using the fan because it's not that hot, you know, if you got air moving. Tim says, I'm not looking up anything. I don't blame you, Tim. I'll look it up.
Tim ain't looking up anything. All right. We'll have to find out later about that. Yeah.
But, yeah, so just I happen to see it, the back of it, and it's like, that's strange. So I put it in my
That's
back
very
pocket,
strange.
I wouldn't spend it.
Yeah,
And when I got
that's
home,
very
I put it
strange.
on the computer table. So I don't, so I won't spend it.
Wow, I'm excited for you. You know, I want to know. You know, I want to know what it is. I'm excited for you. It could be worth 10 million. It could be worth $100 million. You know, one of a kind. You never know.
Crystal said it could be. You could sell it for $1 billion.
You could probably sell it. Yeah, Crystal's probably right. You probably could get $1 billion for it. Yeah, you probably have to testify before Congress. You'll probably get a call from Elon Musk.
It's going.
You'll probably get a call from Elon Musk's office wanting you to explain yourself, how you accumulated millions of dollars in assets with a $200,000 salary.
You mean a couple $1,000s of salary? Not a couple hundred?
Exactly. Well, whatever. Whatever.
I just told you, I got lucky. Flipped a coin and it came up billions.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm telling you.
Oh yeah.
Whew.
But yeah, so it's but like I said, it's been a good day. Like I said, when it wasn't raining, it was really nice today. And I can't wait till it's just a cool day.
Well, I'm going to be sitting in front of the TV set all day because it's Easter Sunday and it's rainy and there's nothing open. So I couldn't even go out there and get a burger even if I wanted to. But what's interesting is that Jollibee ran out of Chicken Joy here in Bye Bye City yesterday. I was a little bit lit up. I was like, hey, how can you guys run out of Chicken Joy? You're Jollibee. You are Jollibee. Jollibee is all about the Chicken Joy.
Yeah. I've had Chicken Joy in New York City. It was good.
Yeah, it's good. It's the best chicken around these parts until we ended up going to Mayong's yesterday, and we had the tastiest chicken. It was crunchier than the Chicken Joy, a lot more flavorful, and so now I think I'm a fan of Mayong's. So I'm gonna have to be going over there now and getting my chicken from now on, because they just I go into Jollibee and they just look at me like, well, out of stock, sir. Out of stock, sir. Out of stock, sir. I said,
that's the first I have to get used to.
This is the house that
Chicken
built. This is the house that Chicken Joy built. People, you can't run out of chicken. Hey, we ran into. Yeah, I'll share this story with you real quick. It's probably boring.
Go ahead.
But we ran into the owner of that particular Jollibee, the franchise owner, in the Dunkin' Donuts of all places. And what she told us, well, what we discovered is that Jollibee, they give you like a choice. So if you're a franchise operation, they will run it for you. See, and then you just get your check at the end of the month. You get your profit check. They handle all the accounting, they handle all the hiring of the people, they hire the managers. And so I said something to her that offended her. I said, they don't call me Dangerous Dan for nothing. Sometimes when I open my mouth, I spit fire, right? And so I did. I opened my mouth and I said, well, you're getting the raw end of this deal. I said something like that to her, and she was absolutely shocked and floored. I think you'd be better off, ma'am, running the store yourself. They're probably taking every dime of profit and throwing it down the drain there, because they usually charge you quite a bit of money in management fees in order to manage it, and you ain't getting your money's worth. Oh, she was quite offended by it.
The thing is, though, she's probably happy because she didn't have to do any work either.
Mm-hmm. Well, she's elderly. She's elderly, and she said it was her father that owned it originally.
Okay.
And then she inherited it from her father.
Yeah. She probably just doesn't want to run it, and it's the money she gets is the money she gets.
Yeah, the money she gets, and she's happy with it. Of course, if you have a Jollibee, you're on fire. But the one thing that bugs me, my final thought is that the menu is expanding larger than McDonald's. I mean, it's crazy. And I wish the fast food places would just get a grip on reality. It's not how many different dishes that you can figure out to come up with using the same bucket of chicken, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. And by the way, Tim says McDonald's runs out of hamburgers here.
Oh, yeah. Here they call them hamburgers, but they're really pork burgers.
Okay. Now
they don't call them hamburgers.
You brought up Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah.
I went to Dunkin's today for breakfast.
Oh, that's great. What did you have?
I got a cup of coffee and they call it coffee, coffee cake donut. I call it a
Mhm.
cinnamon roll.
Oh, those are delicious.
Yeah, I that's what I had for breakfast today. If
Which
I'm stopping
Dunkin'?
here, I'm going to get something good.
Which Dunkin' did you go to?
The one on 7.
You didn't go to Colony, the one that I used to work at on Central Avenue.
No, that's out of my way. I was going to 90.
Ah, I
So
see.
I was going towards Schenectady, so I can take 890 to 90, and then 90 to. I got off at Leroy, so I could go to Brockport. That's where my sister's in rehabilitation center at. I went up to see my sister.
The manager of that store now lives in Florida. He rose to become the vice president of Dunkin' Donuts. His name is Vern Schillinger. Vern, if you're out there listening, I love you, bro. I love you, bro.
It would
So,
shock me if you listening up to mine. I mean, yours maybe, but mine would be a
uh-huh.
shocker.
Mm-hmm. And he ended up building a very, very good business, consulting. After he left Dunkin', when it was sold, then he ended up building a network of assisting people, obtaining executive positions in corporations, showing them how it's all done and how the connection is the most important thing. And so, Vern, I learned a lot from you, bro, even though it was just a small 6 months or whatever it is we spent together. Small period of time. Great man.
My restaurant time was at a Bonanza Steakhouse.
I
That was about a
loved
year and a
Bonanza.
half.
Are they still around?
I don't think so. I haven't seen what.
Sawdust on the floor. That's what I remember.
What on the floor?
Sawdust. I remember going into a Bonanza and it
Not where
had
I
like,
worked at. We didn't have sawdust.
did you have peanut shells on the floor?
Nope.
Did they used to bring you peanuts to the table?
Nope.
Oh, must have been later or earlier.
I worked there in the 70s, late 60s, early 70s. I worked from like 69 to into 71.
So are they still around, Larry?
Not that I know of. I haven't seen one in a long time. Ponderosa
How
was
about
still around.
How about Friendly's Ice Cream? Are they still around?
Friendly Ice Cream is, but I haven't seen a Friendly restaurant in a while.
How about Carvel?
Carvel Ice Cream is still around, but I'm not seeing any Carvel restaurants.
Wow. Times they are changing.
But
Did you
there's
know?
an AW between me and Lake George.
Uh-huh.
There are Dairy Queens around still. I'm not sure where the closest one is to me now.
Right.
There is one up in Rochester, a couple of them in that area. They just opened those up not too long before I left Rochester.
I have a Lake George story. So I was making my way up through Montreal and the car broke down. I was in upstate New York and I was passing very close to Lake George and the car broke down and right in front of me was a monastery. And so I go walking up to the monastery and a monk came and answered the door. And it was a classic monastery. It was very beautiful. And I said, "Oh, my car broke down. It was very, very late at night." And the monk said to me, you're not going to be able to find anybody to come out and fetch you this time of night. So why don't you come in and we'll put you up for the night? And I said, "Wow, that's very nice of you, very gracious of you." He said, "Come on in, I'll show you where your bed is." He walked me over into a it was a basement. It was a finished basement that had bunk beds inside there, and I wondered if they had run a youth hostel or a hostel at one time, right? Later,
Yeah.
come to find out, it was at one time a hostel. And I was able to sleep the night there, and in the morning they were able to get help for me, get the car started on my way I went. So I have a fantastic memory from that Lake George area.
Now, what kind of monastery was it? Was it Buddhist?
I gosh, it was not a Buddhist monastery, but they were wearing robes, and so I don't know what it was. I have to. I think I tried looking it up online, and I remember finding it, but I do not remember what kind of a monastery it was. It could have been a Dominican priest monastery.
Okay. By the way, Dan, Tim's accusing you of corrupting the monk and the monastery.
Yeah, actually, I was expecting to get hit by lightning upon entry.
That's
But
what I would ask. Is this building got a lightning rod to keep it safe?
exactly, is it grounded properly?
Yeah. We need a couple of lightning rods up there to keep it safe here, buddy. Before I come in.
That is the moment. Tim makes a very good point. That is the moment in time where I realized that God truly loved me. Or rather, that there was a God.
You didn't strike you dead.
That is so funny. And by the way, that is the God's honest truth, Tim. You wouldn't want me to lie, would you?
No, lie to me.
Lie to me, baby. I like it.
Yeah. Tell me another Whopper.
Oh, I'm not sure if that was the same trip that they were having some kind of soccer championship or playoffs up there in Montreal.
Yeah.
Folks, they take their soccer very seriously up there in Canada. Very seriously.
And Tim says everyone knows Dan's not grounded.
Hey, by the way, I'm barefoot right now. You want to see my feet? Never mind.
Oh,
No, that would definitely be the end of your live stream. Oh, it's almost 9:30, or it's a little bit after.
yeah, just went. What is it?
Did Jerry say that Talks
9:32.
was? Did Jerry say my goddaughter was on live right now? Talks.
Talks is live. He said right now.
Ah,
And,
beautiful.
Elvie's supposed to be starting here in just a little bit.
LV.
I'm going to
LV.
go to Elvie's when I leave here.
Yeah.
I'll kick back.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go look for him.
All right. Hey, then if you're leaving, I'm going to go ahead and get ready to shut this one down.
All right.
Because I've been
Thanks
going
for putting
about
up with
an hour
me.
and a half.
Thanks for putting up with me. Sorry I was late. I crawled out of bed just a few minutes before.
That's all right. You're welcome anytime.
right.
And remember,
All right,
now,
thank
when I
you.
put that whiteboard up, if you see something that's wrong or you think I need to add something, put it in the comments. I'm going to put a video up, and it'll probably just be called whiteboard. It's not to get people that, to draw a lot of attention. It's just, though my followers will probably know what it means, And so, Dan, you have a good one. And
You too, Larry.
I look forward to seeing you sometime next year.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
I can't guarantee when, but if God willing, it will happen next year.
All right. We'll see you later, everybody. Bye.
All right. Now, everybody take care. I'm going to go ahead and shut this one down. And I want to thank you all for coming. And I want to remind you guys, remember, be kind to each other. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Plus, have fun. Bye, everyone. Take it easy.